All right, let's dive right into the truly bizarre and desperate start of Stephen King's second Dark Tower book, The Drawing of the Three. I mean, this is a story that kicks off with our hero basically already defeated. So, we find Roland, the last gunslinger, waking up on this strange, lonely beach. But the sound he's hearing isn't the waves. No, it's something totally alien. This weird chittering sound, like a question being asked over and over and over. And let me tell you, this is no dream. There's this monstrous, lobster-like thing dragging itself up the sand. Its chattering is getting louder, closer. He's confused, he's exhausted, and something horrible is crawling right for him. Now, even in this state, what's Roland's first thought? It's not about saving himself, it's about saving his bullets from the saltwater. I mean, his gear, his guns, that's everything to him. But while he's scrambling for his ammo, the creature strikes, and it is shockingly fast. Its beak, it's like a pincer, just snaps shut and shears off 2 fingers from his right hand. We're talking the index and middle fingers, his shooting hand. In just a split second, the very thing that defines him as a gunslinger is just gone. But it's not over. The thing tears right through his boot, taking his big toe and a whole chunk of his foot with it. The pain, you can only imagine, is just astronomical. The damage is catastrophic. After this brutal, awful fight, Roland finally manages to crush the creature with a rock. But then this horrifying realization hits him. The bites are infected. There's some kind of venom, a poison running through his veins, and a fever is already starting to cook him from the inside out. So, the big question is, how in the world did our hero end up here? Maimed, poisoned, and dying on some random beach? Well, to get that, we need a super quick look back at what happened in the first book, The Gunslinger. In a nutshell, Roland is a gunslinger. Think of him like a knight from a world that's falling apart. He's completely obsessed with reaching the Dark Tower, which is like the center of all universes. And this quest, it's cost him literally everything, including a boy he'd come to see as a son. And this line right here, this is the key. It's what drives the rest of the entire series. Jake's last words weren't a curse. They were a promise. A hint that reality is way bigger and way, way weirder than Roland ever thought possible. So, back to the beach. Roland is dying from this infection, he's delirious, he has no food, he just forces himself to keep walking north along this endless shoreline. And then, after what feels like forever, he sees it. Something that just shouldn't be there. Standing all by itself on the sand, not attached to anything, is a single, freestanding door. It makes absolutely no sense. It's the sheer wrongness of this thing that's so captivating. This door, it feels ancient, like it's always been there, but it's totally out of place, and it's humming with this weird, faint buzz. It just breaks all the rules of logic. Roland, what has he got to lose at this point? He cautiously opens the door. But he's not looking out at his beach. No, somehow, impossibly, he's looking out through another man's eyes. He's suddenly seeing the world from the perspective of this guy, Eddie Dean, a young heroin addict on a flight from the Bahamas to New York City in the 80s. And Eddie is in some serious trouble, trying to smuggle cocaine for a dangerous mob boss. So you have these 2 men, both prisoners in their own unique way, and they have no clue the other one exists until this exact moment. Eddie feels this strange presence in his head, so he goes to the airplane bathroom to get it together, and when he looks in the mirror, for one terrifying second, he doesn't see his own eyes. He sees a stranger's cold, calculating blue eyes looking back at him. He sees the gunslinger. And that's when Roland starts to figure it out. This door isn't just a portal to another place. It's a portal into someone else's mind. And maybe, just maybe, he can even control their body. He is inside the prisoner. But is this connection just in his head? Or is it physical? Roland has to know. He decides to test this impossible gateway to see if he can actually reach out and touch Eddie's world from his own. So he takes control for a second. He speaks using Eddie's voice. Now, the flight attendant is a little weirded out by how Eddie is suddenly talking so formally, but she brings him a tuna fish sandwich. And here's where things get absolutely wild. He reaches through the door with his real, physical hands. He grabs a sandwich from Eddie's world and pulls it back through to his beach. Just like that, the impossible becomes real. This door is a two-way street for physical objects. This one incredible test proves that salvation is actually possible. Medicine from this other world could save his life, but his clock is ticking, and fast. The infection is spreading, his strength is fading, and he has absolutely nothing to fight it with. So what's the bottom line here? Roland desperately needs modern medicine from 1980s New York to survive the supernatural infection. But to get it, he has to somehow guide a terrified, withdrawing drug mule right past federal agents and flight attendants who are already suspicious of him. This sets the stage for what has to be one of the strangest, most desperate heists ever imagined. A heist that literally crosses dimensions.